Hello and welcome back to the shop. As promised from my previous video, I said I would show some of the branding irons that I have made before being used out in the real world. Mostly people brand wood, some leather, and some food like steak or pancakes, whatever. But that's just kind of the main thing that they use these branding irons for. I also finished up these rings for my wedding in August. Also, I got a dehumidifier, and that took the humidity down significantly. And I have an automatic pump, and I routed it right into my coolant tank. And I know people say that this isn't necessarily a good thing because there's still a lot of dissolved solids in the water, but I measured it and it's extremely minimal compared to other water that I get. Also, I got another round of my 200 watt branding irons, and I had to make these adapters to fit the branding irons that I make, so that's all I'm doing here. I get 25 of them at wholesale price, and so I just take all the soldering iron tips out of it, cut off the very end, and then turn and thread it to fit the branding iron. The previous puzzle that you guys saw was made out of aluminum, and here it is made out of brass. However, I've decided to scrap this idea as well. I just didn't like it. I didn't like how it worked out, and it kind of made a mess, so I decided to scrap that idea and move on to the next one. At some point, I will solve those puzzles that I deemed incompetent, and I will have them on a YouTube video, and I'll explain why I don't like them. But really, this is all a trial and error thing, and I don't expect much out of it. But in the process of failing, at least I'm doing it fairly cheap. I got this air pressure stack light because the Fadal doesn't have any air pressure fault. If it doesn't have any air pressure, it just goes ahead and tries to change a tool even though it doesn't have any air pressure, and that leads to problems. So I wanted this so I could see and hear if the air pressure goes below a certain amount. And I got that stack light from Amazon for fairly cheap. I was going to make one with an Arduino, but after the time and the cost of the materials, I could just get that one for probably the same price. So the past couple weeks have been somewhat boring. I've been doing just some branding irons and that's about it. So when things are kind of slow, I tend to try and go ahead and improve processes and such. So I made a new process to post-process all the code for the programs for the branding irons extremely quick. And by extremely quick, I mean seconds. I don't have to select the program and hit the post-process button. I literally hit one button and it saves all the programs top and bottom side to a specific folder that I want and exactly how I want them named. And it's like 2 to 3 seconds. It's extremely cool. Like it's so awesome. That's the stuff that gets me excited to have some type of product like this. It's really what makes it fun. And I mean, I'm not a huge proponent of doing custom work like this. Like everything's always different all the time, even though it's one product, but each product has a different variation, meaning it has a different logo of whatever the person wants, because it can kind of get frustrating with the back and forth between the customer, and that takes a decent amount of time. But if I can find another product like this where it's somewhat custom, that will definitely be the way to go. And on that note, I think that's it, and we'll see you next time.